Hello everyone, it's Tony Saniti and Michelle Morgan from Build Her Wealth. We have a special guest with us here today. His name is Arian from EnRICHed Academy.
Hello, hello.
So we're going to ask Arian a few questions because he was the guest speaker at the last Build Her Wealth event, and just give you guys some tips for your real estate investment journeys and figure out how we can learn from Arian. So Arian, you spoke at the last event, and we are wondering, why did you agree to speak at the last Build Her Wealth event?
Yep, no, for sure. You know what? I love what you guys are doing. It's such an amazing thing. You look at money and this topic of money. We're never taught growing up. We go through high school, university. We're just not taught. And what you're doing, you're teaching these women about money and how to better their finances is just education we never received that is so important. So any opportunity to help out, to educate some individuals, I am all over it, all on board. So it was a pleasure. You guys have put on such a phenomenal event. So congratulations to the both of you. But yeah, I love the education aspect.
Thank you. You know what? We loved having you, and we actually got a large response back. So that was one of the reasons we wanted to sit down. For those of you that missed the event, we wanted to make sure you could at least catch up on some of the things we had gone through. So when and how did you start investing in real estate?
Okay, so real estate specifically, I started about a year ago, so pretty new.
Yeah.
Very traditional, nothing fancy, no fancy program or anything. It was an investment property in Oshawa, had my parents and myself. We saved up for the down payment and we bought it. It's cash flowing, probably around $800 a month. It's appreciating great. So nothing like nothing super fancy.
Right.
Very kind of simple, cookie cutter, and yeah, it's phenomenal. Real estate's amazing. So
That's perfect. Now, when it comes to your investing, and we know how you started, what is the biggest takeaway you would say that you got from the Build Her Wealth event, also being an investor and someone that works at EnRICHed Academy?
Oh no, great question. I think the biggest takeaway, what I love that you guys have done, is you've kind of taken this topic of money that's so kind of complicated. Investing in real estate, people are like, oh, they're kind of scared of it. Like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. It's too complicated. Only the elite can do it. And you made it so simple. You put like this very simple, easy to understand formula, and you made people that came in thinking, I can't do this, like, wow, you know what, it's not that hard. It's a very simple formula. You don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it, but you just need a plan and you just model. I just loved it. Like, you know, one of my favorite, not to go too off track here, but Tony Robbins, he says, like, you know, in order to be successful, just model what successful people have done, right? So to be a successful real estate investor, figure out what those successful people are doing and just do it. And you guys are super successful doing it. You showed how to do it and you empowered people to do it. So very simple. That's what I loved about it. Just a nice, simple formula.
That's awesome. Thank you for that.
Too much.
No, you don't. So, what is the number one mistake you see people making in their savings habits?
So the number one mistake, I think there's definitely a few. I think the biggest mistake is people think they need a lot of money to save. I think it's by far the biggest mistake. I've had the pleasure and the honor to speak to tens of thousands of people, and it is amazing how many people you meet. This is not like one time, one situation. People that are making like $70,000 a year that have a higher net worth and are doing better financially than someone else making $400,000 a year. You know, the one making $70,000 saving for retirement, owns investment properties, and the one making $300,000, although their income is a lot higher, they're struggling financially. They're not saving much for retirement. So I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is you need a lot of money to be financially successful, and it's the farthest thing from the truth, because it's not how much you make, it's what you do with the money that you do make is so important. It's not how much you make, it's really what you do with that money. So
You're right. And you were great. I'm grateful because you were very great with just explaining to the ladies how to save. So that was the number one thing. I loved that. Okay, so as a financial expert with EnRICHed Academy, what advice would you give to women who are looking to invest in real estate today?
So to invest in real estate as a woman, you know, I think it's just all comes down to education, which is why I love just educate yourself. It's not complicated. It's not hard to do. Read a couple books. An event like this is perfect, right? Attend a Build Her Wealth event, because there's successful people that have already done it. Like there's no secret formula. It's just figuring out how they do it and do it. Right?
Copying it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just copy. It's really just, it's like cheating, right? It's almost unfair. You're just copying
It's true.
what is already done and what successful people are doing. You don't have to make the same mistakes. People have made those mistakes, so
Learn from them.
learning from your mistakes is huge. So I would say, just read a couple books, attend events like this, educate yourself, and the higher your education, the higher your confidence, and the more likely you'll take action and actually do something, pull the trigger, buy an investment property. Start with one and keep going. So
And there you have it, ladies. We've got expert Arian from EnRICHed Academy, and he is a financial expert. He spoke at the last event, and I look forward to seeing you at the next event coming up June 14th. I hope you've enjoyed and take some great tips off of Arian. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
thanks for having us. Awesome.